Hi everyone, welcome back to my life, my voice, my face. I'm Patty. I am a mom of 4 boys. My channel is Turks and Chaos. I have a podcast called the Turks and Chaos Podcast where it's like a mom podcast. I talk about mom stuff. So I'm just hopping on because I wanted to give an update of how I'm feeling, what's been going on, as this is my 13th week on sertraline, the generic medication, the generic form of Zoloft. I am on 25, I'm just going to say mgs because I don't know if it's milligrams, micrograms, whatever. I don't know. I hear other people say milligrams and I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense. But it's not micrograms. I don't know. Anyways, I'm on 25. My dose is 25 mgs. And I've spoken with a psychiatrist about upping it because soon after I posted my video of my 8-week update, I would say this was like week 9. I just was feeling anxious again, and I had this kind of pit in my chest that just felt really uncomfortable. Like, it felt, I don't know how to explain it other than like this weird tingling in my chest that just felt like I don't even really know how to describe it. I was talking to my therapist about it and she suggested I try like coloring it on a piece of paper, like, like to try to get it out onto paper because I can't even describe it really. And so I was thinking, okay, well, I'm still kind of experiencing anxiety. And at that point, I was still waking up like once every couple weeks with the anxiety that led me to go on the medication in the first place. And so, yeah, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's time to just up my dose. My kids do you hear my kids? They're crazy. So she was like, yeah, why don't you try upping it? I know that you are sensitive to the increases. So we were going to up it to 37.5 instead of upping it to 50, which is the therapeutic dose. I wasn't ready to go there, but I think that was kind of the hopes that let's get up to the therapeutic dose, but let's kind of get you like a stepping stone first for a little bit, and then the next upping would be to 50. So she sent me over the prescription for that so that I could easily cut the pills, because trying to cut a 50 in quarters is like really hard. Like cutting it in half is easy. Cutting it in quarters, like halving a half of a pill, it gets really iffy because they start like shattering. So she sent me a prescription of 25, which I then could half and take 1.5 to get the dose that she wanted me on. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. The point is, she was like, yeah, let's try upping it, because at around 8 weeks, it's really typical for such a low dose to stop working, period. So I was like, oh geez, well maybe that's what happened to me. Maybe it stopped working. So I pick up the prescription and I never took it. It's been a month later now and I'm still on the same low dose. But what I've been doing since then is I've been trying to learn more about anxiety, trying to learn more about why my body is reacting the way it is. What is going on? I acknowledge I have been stressed, which is a big improvement from the start of getting on the medication, where I would be like, I have no idea why I have anxiety. There's nothing to be anxious of. I feel confident in life. I feel, well, maybe not confident, but I mean, nothing to me has changed to where I feel completely overwhelmed and stressed out and like on the verge of a mental breakdown, other than here I am in the midst of a mental breakdown because I have anxiety every day. So through the last 3 months, it's been like a huge eye-opener to like take a step back and really take inventory of my life, to really acknowledge the stress that was in my life, the change that had happened in the last couple of years, and how that can affect your nervous system, your mind, your habits. Even just having a baby, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I've had 3 other kids. This is my 4th kid. It's no big deal. Why would that stress me out? I'm sleeping fine enough, like it's good enough. And then it's like, whoa, wait, okay. Yes, it's my 4th kid. Yes, I've done it before, but whoa, it's my 4th kid. Like, I have 4 kids, and my older kids are going through, like, my oldest is going through puberty already. And so that comes with its own whole world of like change for not only him, but for me, because as a mother, I'm like, holy moly, my baby is like becoming a teenager. I don't want to say man, but he's like becoming a teenager. He's only 11, but almost 12. But like already he has a mustache and his voice is deep, and like he has like man hair on his legs, and he's taller than me now. And holy moly. And then everything that he goes through at school, like it hurts me and it makes me feel like a baby. Like it makes me sad. It does make me sad. And so there is a lot of change. We moved into this house away from my mom 3 years ago, and there had been a couple of deaths, my dad and my grandpa. And of course that sucks, and that's a lot of change. And I feel like I should just make a different video about my anxiety and my realizations. So I'm going to stop that, and I'll just say 13 weeks in, it's just not so, I guess all of what I'm saying, bringing up all of those things, going through the 3 months, I just think that it's not so black and white, like the medication works and your anxiety is gone. I feel like you truly need to understand where anxiety comes from, why anxiety causes these chronic reactions, like that, how you end up getting into the chronic anxiety of it, so that you can start to slowly undo some of those things so that your body starts to calm down. I think the medication helps you get to a point where it's calm enough, or that your mind is like clear enough to be able to think about these things. Because before I was on the medication, I couldn't tell you I was even stressed out, let alone depressed. And now that I'm on the medicine, I'm able to realize, whoa, I think I was depressed, because I can't say like I had crying episodes, but I definitely was weepy. Like I would read a book and I would be like, like crying, because I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like I feel that. And I'm like, oh, I'm just a sensitive person though. Like I'm really sensitive, and I connect to other people. And so it was just a good story, or a good, but no, now looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was a little bit weird, because I'm not really a crier. I'm not a crier, but I was crying a lot, and I wasn't really happy. I stayed in my bed a lot. I stayed in my room a lot. I had no motivation. I didn't really have any goals going on in life. I had disconnected from my children. I was just feeling like my priorities were super out of whack, and I was not happy, and I was really stressed out about a lot of things. So the medication really helped me get into a better state of mind. My kids are loud again, sorry. A better state of mind to be able to start to investigate the anxiety and the stress and the depression and all that stuff. So where I'm at in life now is I still have some anxiety. Sometimes I'll have random anxiety, but I do notice it's when I'm like not slowing down and checking in. I'm not, like, I notice that in those moments I have to slow down and like take a time out. I need to either meditate, I need to breathe, I need to write out my to-do list so that it's not like I have all these millions of things to do. I write it down and then it's like, okay, well now it looks more manageable, instead of having that like, oh, I have like 30,000 things to do. Oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. How am I going to get all that done? Oh my God, I have to do this. I write it down and then I look and then I'm like, oh, well, I can do that right now. And then I check it off. And then that's one less thing. And then I'm like, and that, I can do that. Let's get that done. And then when I run out of the house to do errands, I can get these other things knocked off the list too. And this one I can write down for 2 days from now. I can handle it then, or I'll have this done, you know, so then it's out of my mind. It's on the paper. I'm reading a book and I am really trying to actively let my body relax and make sure that it's not tense. When I read a book, I let my legs and all of my muscles completely melt into the bed. And when I lay down and watch TV, I try to let them do the same thing. I'm trying to make it a point to sleep, get good sleep. So I'm trying to get to bed I'm pretty much sleepy. If I read before bed and let my body relax into the bed, I'm like dozing off while I'm reading. So by 9:30, definitely 10:30, I'm asleep. And then my son still wakes me up once or twice throughout the night. And then I'm up. I can't sleep anymore. I'm like naturally awake by 6 in the morning. And but I like lay down and try to just rest my eyes for a little bit until 7, which is when I wake up. So I'm really prioritizing sleep with the medication since I've started, because you have to eat it with food so you don't get a tummy ache. I have it in the morning and I have breakfast. So every day, every morning at the same time or around the same time, I have breakfast, a good nutritious breakfast. It's usually like a bowl of oatmeal with fruit, cinnamon, maybe honey, definitely nuts, and then I'll have my medicine. I'm trying to get outside and get fresh air. Sunshine is a huge priority for me, and walking. Those things are important. And then I've been able to have goals again. I want to write a book. That's what I want to do. And so getting excited about something is really, when you're looking forward to doing something or you have a goal in life, you can let your mind like get excited. Like, I'm looking forward to that. And then you're thinking of like, okay, well, what is all going to get me there, and what's it going to be like when I am there? And you have a moment to like daydream, and then your mind is thinking about like what's possible, instead of like, when am I going to be anxious again? When am I going to have an anxiety attack? What do I feel right now? Like, I was just so hyper focused on like negative body sensations. Like, I was worried about like, do I have some sort of health condition? I was worried about what's wrong with me. I was worried about, oh my gosh, am I going to have an anxiety attack? Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get any sleep. And then I was like super hyper focused on that stuff, which made my anxiety and my stress levels in my body way worse. Having something positive in your mind to look forward to, letting your mind dream, letting your mind wander, like that stuff, create a habit of that, of daydreaming, of let yourself dream. Like, go in good areas, get in a good headspace. If you have to tell yourself positive affirmations, if you have to, like, what I've been doing is looking in the mirror. And when I take a shower, I try to slow down when I'm taking that shower. If I notice that I'm rushing too much, I'm slowing it down, because I remind myself, I have nowhere to be where I have time for a shower, so let me slow it down so that my body doesn't think that I'm in a rush, so that my body doesn't think that it has to be in this weird accelerated state right now. Let me show it that it can calm down, because I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. Doing things a little slower has definitely helped relax my body. And I think if you continue to do things that show your body that it's okay to relax, I really think that's how you calm your nervous system down, is allowing the body to rest instead of being on high alert. Because it's not just the mind, it's the mind and the body. They both need to be doing the same things. Like, not the same things, but they both need to be addressed in this. So when I get out of the shower, then I'll go to the mirror. And what I hadn't been doing is like spending time to brush my hair. If it took too long, I would just say, whatever, I'm going to put it up in a ponytail with knots still in it because I don't care. Or, you know, I'm not going to do makeup or do this or that. But what I've been doing is I've been getting out of the shower, and yeah, I don't do my makeup every day, but I do put a nice serum on my face, and I look at myself in the mirror, and I smile, and sometimes I do a little dance, and I look at myself in the mirror, being silly, and doing a dance, and I'll because why not? And they say you should smile because just smiling releases endorphins and serotonin and dopamine in your head, in your brain, just from the action of smiling. It can trigger that. If you frown, your mind is like, oh, are you angry? So don't frown. Be mindful and smile. So I'll just have like a moment to myself in the mirror, and it's like giving myself love. I'm doing self-love, self-care. I put lotion on my body every day when I get out of the shower, which isn't something that I did because I was like, whatever, just gonna put whatever on and move on with my day. I got too much to do, gotta clean. What's the point doing this, putting lotion on? I'm just gonna get dirty and blah, blah, blah. No wonder why I was in such a state, right? But just putting lotion, like taking the time to put lotion on my body, to do my nice little serum on my face, to sit there and brush my teeth and not like what I used to do is like walk out of the room and like stand somewhere else because like brushing my teeth like took way too long, was such a drag. I did it, but I just didn't want to like stand in front of the mirror. Now I'm like, okay, I can stand in the mirror. I'll just look at myself because it's okay. I can look at myself and I can feel calm. I can look at myself and feel good. I can brush my teeth and just talk myself up while I'm looking in the mirror like, you got this. Anyways, yeah, sometimes it looks weird, but you know what? That's me. I'm a weirdo. And this is like more me than I am when I started my anxiety journey. I was like drifting. I was drifting off, and now I feel like back. I feel good. And at the same time, I feel like I'm growing. Like I don't feel like I'm back to who I was. I feel like a better version of myself right now because I'm having so many different like epiphanies in life. What's wrong, baby? And like understanding a lot more things. And I'll say, I skipped a week of therapy for the first time in like 4 months this past week, and I feel good. But I feel like really looking forward to having my session tomorrow. So yes, as far as side effects, I have 0 at this point. I don't have any side effects at all. I feel fine. Yeah, I can't say anything about side effects. I will say I do get scared if there's been one day where I forgot to take my medicine because I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was in a hurry doing something else. Like I got started on something else, and then I was like, oh my God, I didn't take my medicine. And I took it like an hour late, and I freaked out. What are you doing, son? So that causes anxiety for me because it's like, dang, I don't want to have those brain zaps that everyone talks about. But I don't know. I have an appointment with my psychiatrist again in a month. Yeah, sometime at the end of next month. So I'm actually going to talk to her about maybe coming off of the medication. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't want to be on the medication because I want to feel like I can do this on my own. but I don't want to come off of the medication if the medication is helping me this much, if that makes sense. Like, my fears are that I'll come off of the medication and then the sun's going down, so it's getting dark. But where's the light? Where's the light? My fears are that I'll come off of the medication and my anxiety will come back and I'll be back to square one. And then I did all of that time. Like, and it's all wasted and I have to start all over again. So yeah, I think I'll just have to talk to her and see, like, make my decision from there. And in the meantime, I'm still trying to make it a daily practice to meditate and all that good stuff. I will say, I had a holiday party this past weekend. I had 3 events this last weekend. Friday, I had planned a children's holiday party for my mom's group. And so that was a social thing. That was a stressful thing that I had to plan. And it was a stressful, I won't say stressful, but it was like a social event, which usually makes me a bit anxious. And then the next day I had like a ladies' brunch. We had like a little afternoon tea together, which again, still eating out is a trigger for me. And so that was like out of my element. And I drove in the car with one of the ladies. And so I felt really anxious during that tea. And then it was worse because I didn't have my own car, thinking like, okay, well, I just need to make it through this point and then I can get in my car and like listen to music and calm down or listen to a podcast or whatever, because I was with a mom and she had to drive me home. So I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to be weird. What if I have to step out? Oh my God, they're going to think I'm like crazy. So that was an anxious moment. And then later that day in the evening time, I had my husband's holiday work party, which is all of the unions, all of the businesses, all of the employees in his union together for dinner. So it's like huge, lots of people, hundreds of people. And yeah, so that was out of my element and gave me anxiety too, but I had fun. I had to step away from the noise for a minute because it got really loud and my anxiety kicked in for a minute and I just needed to like have a break. But I will say I haven't had to use Xanax in the last few weeks, and for that stressful weekend was like a huge improvement for me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This was a long video, but if you watched this far, then thanks for listening to me, because we all just need an ear, and talking helps me feel better. So if you are on the medication and dealing with anxiety, my tip for you is to choose a better thought, allow yourself to daydream, and work on slowing it down. So if you notice yourself rushing through something, just slow it down. Take more time to do something because it's okay. You're not in a rush. And then most importantly for me, I think allowing your body to relax. So even if you listen to a meditation and you don't feel like your mind is going there, let your body completely relax. Like, you know how it does what's it called? Body scan? Do a body scan meditation. And like, now for me, it's kind of like, it's super easy to get there, but at first it gave me anxiety. I don't know if it gave me anxiety. I think it did actually. But when I first started realizing I walk around tense all of the time and I tried to actively sit down and relax my body, it was hard for me to do so. I would like sit down on the sofa, and instead of like relaxing and being able to sit down, I would like be fidgety or feel like I had to move and like move around. And it was just like, gosh, why do I feel like I can never relax? And now I've had to train myself. So if that's you, it's normal, but you just have to train yourself how to relax again. And I think that helps calm down your nervous system for sure. And the last thing that I'm learning about, which I'll have to do when I do my update, I'll include this, but diet. Diet is important, and I learned why. It's because if you eat inflammatory foods instead of foods that are like nutritious, nutrient dense, are anti-inflammatory, have antioxidants in them. If you eat inflammatory foods, that's another stressor on your nervous system because it has to deal with inflammation. And when your body is stressed out physically, internally, and externally, that can also contribute to anxiety. So it's not just mental, guys, it's physical too. And you have to look at it in a holistic way. So food, exercise, and like your mental stuff, your good habits. Wow, look how dark it got already. Goodness gracious. Anyways, it all matters. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry if you were looking for more of like a side effects type of video or whatever and more focused on the medicine. I don't really have a focus on the medicine right now. I don't think about it other than the fact when I think about like wanting to come off and how long I'll have to be on this or do I need this or what, you know? But right now I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like my anxiety isn't gone completely, but I'm working on it. I'm working on managing it. I'm working on figuring out how to calm my body down out of this stressed out state that it's been in so that it's a habit for it to be calm now instead of for it to be in a habit of being anxious and stressed. I hope this helped. I will share more anxiety tips with you guys when it's not so dark out. Hello, what happened to my video? Yeah, I'm still happy though. And I'm not a zombie. I still feel emotions. I got sad earlier today. And I get mad and I'm happy. I get happy and I get silly and I still get anxious, but I haven't had panic attacks. Well, I haven't had panic attacks. I'll say it was more of an anxiety attack, but I don't get them often. So I won't say that the medicine has completely wiped out all anxiety. For me, I feel like I feel normal anxiety. Sometimes I get random anxiety, but I'm able to realize that it's more from me kind of not checking in and calming down. It's just been like me piling and trying to ignore it. And my body's like, okay, you need to take a look at this and focus. You need to, like, it's an alert system. I'm trying to see anxiety as an alert system. Like my body's saying, pay attention to this. Like, okay, something isn't right, fix it now. So, and if there's no threat outside, then it's about me turning to my body and making it feel, showing it that there's nothing to be on high alert for. It's okay. I'll stop there before I keep talking. I hope that all made sense to you guys. Anxiety is very complicated and intricate, but also very simple. Calm your body down, internally, externally, mentally, physically. Calm it down, slow it down. That's basically what it comes down to. Yeah, finding comfort in the chaos. All right, that's all I have to say. I'm off. Bye.